Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much again to Destination Uri for having me on tonight. We're now into December, and I hope everybody's keeping safe. And I'll just start off tonight with the Armagh versus Dublin match. That was on Saturday in Breffni Park in Camlough, and it was an absolutely brilliant match. Fair play to the girls. They were up against an extremely strong Dublin team. If you think about it, that team has had 3 All-Irelands under its belt. So the Armagh team, they played absolutely brilliant, but they're a young team. There is so many years still left in that team, so watch this space. They definitely will be back with a vengeance. Amy Mackin, as always, an absolute inspiration, 2 goals and 4 points. Just an absolutely brilliant match. And the other 3 local women as well. Fantastic play by everybody. So you can see just a wee bit of play there from our team in a different match, I think it is. But absolutely fantastic. So fair play to, and there's nothing to be downhearted about. They absolutely played brilliant. For some of the young players, that was their debut for a semi-final, an All-Ireland semi-final. So they really flipping played their hearts out. Absolutely brilliant. But as I say, they were up against a very, very experienced Dublin team, and to come up, to be able to hold their own. At times, they were very much, putting Dublin under pressure, and so it was 5 points. Dublin were ahead in the final score, but that's an absolutely excellent result. So good luck to Dublin anyway. I think they're going to play whoever wins the match this weekend. I think it's Galway and Cork or something like that. But so I'm no doubt. I'd be fairly sure Dublin will be back in the All Ireland. Win the All Ireland this time, because they're absolutely powerful. I'd like to then move on to, we spoke about it last week, and it was the Creve competition, and I think there was over 500 entrants, from the local primary schools. So absolutely brilliant turnout and a good response to that wee competition. As far as I know, the coaches and the management are sifting their way through all of the sheets that were sent into them. And they will obviously pick a winner, and that will decide the name of the Camogue. So fair play to everybody for taking part in that, and fair play to the Creve, for getting involved and getting young people involved at this particular time. I'd also like to go on to, and this is a project that both the Shane O'Neills and the Camlough Community Association are involved in. That's the Christmas food appeal. So it has started a number of weeks ago. There has been a good response to date. We will continue with this right up until the 11th of December. So the club itself, it's open tonight from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It'll be open again on Friday the 4th, again from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Monday the 9th, and Friday the 11th, each time from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So if anybody's got anything that they can spare, as I say, it's non-perishable goods, more than delighted to have them. We will, on the 12th, we will hopefully distribute. There's a squad of people that will be coming together just to help with the distribution. And definitely it'll be given to people that basically need it. So anybody that's, has anybody in mind that think they could benefit from this, please contact me privately or any of the Shane's committee, and we will ensure that they're added onto the list. But, please put an extra effort in just for the next, say, couple of days or the next fortnight, just to try and make sure that we have maximised what we can, and the more the merrier. We will certainly be able to get it distributed, and there's no doubt about it. It'll be greatly appreciated by everybody. Also, just a wee announcement, the Camlough Community Association did apply to the National Lottery, and some call it the National Lottery. Anyhow, they applied to the lottery, and we were awarded £10,000. That will go to buy food vouchers. We did it before, if you remember. I think it was back in June or July. This time it'll be £100 food vouchers. So we're going to have 100 people that will receive that just coming up to Christmas, and hopefully that'll ease the burden to some degree on the finances, for whatever particular family receive this. So again, thanks a million to the lottery, for providing us with this. The application was put in by the Community Association. As far as I know, White Cross is going to do something similar. They're putting their application in at the moment. So any other community associations that are out there that are listening tonight, the opportunity is there. And no doubt the lottery are keen to get that money into the communities. And, so it's just a matter of putting your application in. So once we have talked to the three shops that we had earmarked the last time, hopefully they'll be happy enough to run with this particular project. And once that has done, we'll start distributing the vouchers, to people. So an absolutely brilliant project, and fair play to everybody involved. I want to speak now about road safety, and this is in particular to do with the Convent Hill. As you can see, with myself and one of the local residents put up a number of posters there on Sunday. The Convent Hill, it's a good road, and there's a tendency for people to speed on it, but people have to remember, apart from the residents that live on the road, and there are a number of young families, so obviously parents would be concerned with cars speeding past. But you also have a nursing home, you have a primary school, you have a pharmacy, you have a number of places of worship, right along that stretch of road. And it's a small stretch, so sometimes it can be very congested, and people get frustrated and they tend to then overtake, speed up, all of that type of stuff. Look, you'll get home just as quickly and with less chance of causing an accident. So please pay heed to the signs, slow down. I think most people do keep within the speed limit and stuff like that. There's only a minority that's obviously are always in a hurry and just ignore. And your life, never mind the victim, that you hit, but your life will be changed forever if you're behind the wheel and some child or some adult is knocked down because of your recklessness. So again, I appeal to people just to pay heed to the road safety and slow down. So thanks for the locals for helping with that particular project. Home safety. Not to alarm anybody or anything like that, we did have a bit of an incident in Camlough the other night. Thankfully, it's the first, in a long, long time. I was speaking to the PSNI to see if there was any trend or any pattern for break-ins as of late. And, over the past weekend, the only thing that had happened was in the County Down area, Hilltown and Mayo Bridge. So hopefully this isn't the beginning of anything. I haven't heard anything since, but at the same time, people just need to remain alert. There seems to be an attempt, possibly at stealing a car outside a local house. Fair play to the local residents adjacent to the house. They were, heard the bit of a noise or a bit of a racket coming from the car, and they shouted at the would-be thieves, who then skedaddled, as you would expect. So it was down to the vigilance of local people looking out for their neighbours. So fair play to everybody for that. We will keep an eye on it. As I say, hopefully this was just a one-off. If we find that there is now a pattern, particularly as, coming up to Christmas, dark nights and all of that type of stuff, we've had this problem back in 2016. But if there is, then we will review that. And, obviously it could be a case of back to, neighbourhood watch and community alert and all of that. But, as I say, we'll take a wee look at that. But there is, if people, are concerned about their home safety, if you go on to, and obviously anybody watching this is on Facebook, so if you go on to the Facebook page of the PCSP, you will see that there is a home safe scheme, and that means that people will come out, and this is all free. Once you contact them, obviously give them your name and address and stuff like that, they'll come out to see you, I presume, after the restrictions lift, and they will take a look at your home security, and they will give you advice and possibly help with some devices that will make your home more secure. So as I say, go on to the PCSP Facebook page, and you will see the ad and you will see the contact details, and just work it through that. Okay, thanks very much. Let me see now. Oh yeah, the Shop Local campaign. Now, this is obviously something, because when you think about it, many of the shops, particularly through the darker days of COVID and that, they were a lifeline to most of us, without the local shops. And you're talking about, it's not just the people that own the shops, it's also the people that work in the shops, because if you remember back, particularly in, say, March and April, when, we weren't 100% sure exactly the dangers of COVID and, how it could be transmitted, etc., those people still came to work. At that time, there was no screens up, people weren't wearing masks. but they were still in work, so they were putting their own health at risk in order to ensure that we were able to get, obviously food that we need in order to survive. So we should, as much as we can, ensure that we support those local businesses. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be hypocrites. I don't do all my shopping in Camlough. Obviously, most people, they need to go to different stores and stuff like that there to get various things. But where you can, please, make the extra effort and shop locally. So obviously, we're talking about for this area, we're talking about Camlough, Bessbrook, and the Millvale Road, Clockray area. Okay, so thanks for that. And just a number of birthdays, I'd like to give a number of people a shout out, if that's okay. The first on my list is a fella from up by the Cash Road in Camlough, and that's Connor Doran. So there's Connor. I think his birthday was on the 30th there of November. So happy birthday, Connor, and hope you had a good day. And my next on the list is another young fella from Camlough, Cathal Lennon. He's out in Australia at the minute, but there's no doubt Cathal loves his home village because you can see he's always very active on Facebook and stuff, and no doubt he comes home from time to time. But I presume 2020 was a lonely enough time for anybody that's abroad. So big happy birthday from everybody in Camlough, Cathal, and no doubt you had a good day with your family. Okay, so that's it, Cathal. Just again, I'll make the appeal for people to, if they can afford to, just leave in a few bits and pieces down into the Shane O'Neill's for the Christmas food appeal. It'll be more than appreciated. And just slang of foil agus i Hawaii.